Hello everyone, it's John from Brisbane and might have a little bit of a croaky voice. Oh God, yes. Been hit with a little bit of the plague, but not too badly. It's Christmas Eve, so Merry Christmas to everybody out there who deigns to watch me or listen to me. Bit of both, isn't it? Anyway, I'm doing a top 10 of what has entertained me for the year, and I've only concentrated on the games that I've actually owned. So I've played a lot of games during the year and I've liked a lot, but a lot of them I don't own. So much as I'd love to include the ones I don't own, I'm instead just going to concentrate on those that I do. So in no particular order, because to be quite honest, they're all my number one because I enjoy playing all of them. So you'll find that it's going to be an eclectic lot because they're not all board games. So I'm going to start with my first one because this year has been different for me, because in the previous years, I don't know what's changed this year, but I've previously been very isolated and have felt very much outside the community. But this year some things have changed. I don't know whether or not that's because I've made the changes or people have, I don't know, been more accepted and allowed me into their community. But it's been good. But for a long time I played a lot of solo games because that's what kept me sane, I suppose. But chief amongst the ones that I was playing was, oh, there we go, For Against Darkness. Now I print mine. I don't get them from the States or that. It just proves to be, I suppose, a little bit too cost prohibitive. But for me, it's just easier to buy the PDFs. Now this is a really good solitaire, as they call it, a solitaire dungeon delving pen and paper game, and it is really good. It's just rolling 2 dice, tells you which dungeon piece that you scribe down. You then dice to see what encounter you get, and then you perform whatever the action is, which is obviously fighting a monster, and then you move on to the next piece, and you just keep going through until you find the boss monster at the end. That's the end of the dungeon, and it's really good. I like it. It filled up my time, and there's a lot of material out there now for it. So I highly recommend For Against Darkness for solo players. And look, to be quite honest, it is really, really good for, say, parents who are trying to introduce their children to role-playing, because it's something that the kids can just grasp. It's basic, but it's entertaining, and it gives them a basic introduction. So yeah, For Against Darkness. It's by sorry, I'm really sorry. Ganesha Games. Yes. Sorry. Oh, if I had the capacity to edit, I'd just go and snip. Yes, here we go. But as everybody knows, I really do professional productions here. So anyway, look, I'm sorry, Andre. I'm sorry if I've offended you by that, but hey, listen, your game was the first one off the rank, and I really love it, and it certainly deserves a damn good plug. So For Against Darkness. Now another one that I play, and it's usually at the club, and it's usually one of the games that we play at the end of the day because you know, well, it's not quite packing up, but you know, we've got maybe an hour or so left, and we're looking for something to fill in. There's only a few of us left, and Valley of the King's Afterlife. You know, we might have 4 of us, 3 of us left, and we'll sit there and play that, and just the pyramid style drafting, building your deck to hone it so that you can stack your tomb, earn your points, and you're trying to get the sets to earn the points to win in the end. And the fact that the game has a limited number of turns, so you know, once the cards have run out, that's the end. And yeah, Valley of the Kings, really good game. It's one of the ones that I always bring it to the club, because it's one of the ones that I know that will get played. What else? Well, okay, so that's what I play at the end of the day. At the beginning of the day, when the club starts up, usually one of the other members, Pat, is there with me, and I introduced him to this game called Onitama, and it is now, I guess, one of our staple plays. Another one I think is One Deck Dungeon. There's a couple of others that we play, but Onitama is really good. We really do enjoy that one. So if it's one where you've got cards that dictate the movement that your playing pieces have available to you, and when you use it, you put it off to the side, and that then becomes available to your opponent when they play their card, which then comes round to you to be able to choose. So the cards move constantly around, so the actions that you get to use as movements for your pieces become movement for your opponent. So you're having to think ahead constantly as, well, if I do that, that's a wonderful thing, but then my opponent's going to have that move in due turn. And sometimes you're there going, look, I really want to hang on to this card because I don't want him to get that. But then you end up with, I really need to do that to do this, and then it is tactically challenging, and it is really good. So Onitama is good. One of the newest games that's come out that's really caught just a small community at the moment, because it's only sort of just hit Australia, or more precisely Brisbane, in the last couple of weeks, has been Keyforge. And I've only got a couple of decks, as have a few friends, because once again we're paying, you know, $16 Australian. So I know American price I think is $10 American. And I know some people say, oh, we can get them for $8 American. Well, that's nice if you live in the States or in the UK, where you might pay even, I don't know what the UK prices are, but I'm just going off American prices. Love you guys with the fact that you can get things so much cheaper, but here in Australia, we get rooted for everything when it comes to pricing. So for us, $16 for this makes it, yeah, well, but the thing is that, yes, it's random, but we can play with it, and we're not having to deck build. And that's what I think is the charm with this game. And it's proving popular. How long it'll remain popular, I really don't know. But once again, we're not, you know, we're happy at this moment with the decks that we've got, and amongst the group, it's quite popular. I like it, as do my friends. So Keyforge is one of my favourites. So that's 4 games I've mentioned. So part of what I've also been doing this year is I've been role-playing. And the thing that's gotten me back, I suppose, with socialising, and you'll notice that down in my comments section, you'll find that I've got 2 blogs, which one's the Old Hammer one, which I must admit I don't do a lot with anymore. But the one, oh damn it, the damn weather thing's just gone bling, so I apologise for that. I didn't put this on mute. But the thing that got me back into socialising a lot more was I've gone and Dark Heresy. Now this is the first edition. we're actually playing second, but second edition is so hard to get because it was just at the time that Games Workshop pulled the license or pulled the licensing with Fantasy Flight. Consequently, you know, I think a friend of mine said, oh, he's seen it go for as much as $300. I don't know if that's American or by the time it's converted to Australia, I'm not too sure. But it's still a ridiculous sum of money, and I refuse to spend that when there's PDFs floating around that people can access. So I don't know whether or not they're legal or whether or not what they are, but that's what they say. But we're playing Dark Heresy. I'm having a lot of fun. Have a read of my blogs of the fabricated tales of Alpha Kefarius. They're highly entertaining. Just think of Baron Munchausen on speed, and you've probably got a good indication. So Dark Heresy is one of my favourites. So the other game, and again it's a recent one that we've only just gotten, but we play it so much. Well, we've played it quite a few times. Space Base. I will play this over Machi Koro any day. It is brilliant. Everybody's focused. Everybody's doing something. It's not like you're sitting there when your turn's not happening, wondering what you're doing, or waiting for your opponent to come around, because when your opponent rolls his dice will give you things that you can do. So it's not like you don't have some benefit coming, or not having something happening during your opponent's turn. So you're getting a benefit from their dice rolls. So that helps. So I really, really, really like this. Bloody good game. Really, really good. So that's Space Base. Really good. The other one, and I must admit, I don't think we've played it this year, but Castles of Mad King Ludwig. I love this game. I really do. I suck at it. I really do. But again, my anal retentiveness for symmetry, compared to other people who, I guess, they build their castle for points. I build my castles for beauty rather than for point scoring. But I just love this game. It really is. It is a magnificent game. I really can't explain it that well, but go have a look at it. It's certainly one of my favourites. So, Castles of Mad King Ludwig. And of course, going back, role-playing, I'm running these now, and that's Dungeons and Dragons. So that, again, has brought me many hours of joy now. So, back to playing that. The other one that's had quite a few trips around the block has been Feast of Odin. So again, Feast of Odin has been good. And the last one so I've been playing this solo with the campaign one, has been Imperial Settlers. So there you go. So there's 10, I suppose. Okay, so I rushed the last. I do apologise, but I'm just looking at the time that I'm clicking up here, and I realise that most people don't tend to watch my videos for very long, so hey, I waffle. So they're the games that I've found, now I'm shaking everything, have been, for me, my 10 games that I really enjoyed for 2018, and they've helped me. So in the end, what are your 10 games? Similar to mine? Who knows? But anyway, that's my eclectic mixture. So thank you very much for watching. And I hope everyone, again, has a Merry Christmas. And I will catch you next time. Signing off, the Honourable John.